Welcome back, traders and investors, to Benzinga's Pre-Market Prep, brought to you by MarketFi. I'm your co-host, Joel Alconin, along with Brianna Valesky. And then we have Jerremy Newsome on the line, and he is the CEO of RealLifeTrading.com. Jerremy, how you doing during this active earnings season?
Joel and Brianna, I'm doing amazing. I've missed you guys. It's been so long. I'm doing well. How about you?
Good, good. A little bit of that comedian and actor coming out in you there in that introduction.
Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah.
first let's go back to when you were on last time. UPS came out. I don't know if they actually came out with the earnings or they came out and they warned, and the stock was trading like $6 lower. And Jerremy was like, I am looking to short this thing. And I'm like, oh no, Jeremy's going to be shorting this thing into the hole. I'm worried about him. I worried about it the whole day. I was asking Brianna to email you, and so we could go back. We could actually see that day on the chart. You liked you were going with the momentum there. I know it's hard to remember every trading day and every action, but that did have a pretty nice range. Ended up trading on its lows for the session. January 23rd is the last time you were on.
Yep, January 23rd. It's been a while, but I'm glad to have it back. It was good, man. I mean, I appreciate you bringing up UPS when you were here because it was just such an interesting gap, and I did make a little bit of Subway lunch money on it when it continued a little bit lower, but it continued a little bit lower in the last few days after that, and just started kind of accumulating. So I guess kind of my thoughts on it right now. It really, I mean, I would be surprised if that gap fills, Joel. It really could. I would be surprised, but I would love it for UPS to trade back up into the 105-ish area, which, is kind of where that gap is. And if at that particular location it starts to fail or roll over, man, I think that'd be beautiful.
If you, let's say you didn't really tag it on the 23rd, but the following day, the downgrades are coming. And I noticed it opened another buck lower. It didn't quite fill the gap from that trading day. Do you kind of stick with it? Like, okay, maybe I didn't kill it on the 23rd, but I still think this puppy's going down? Or do you try and start fresh with some new issues?
That's a really good question. That particular gap, so from the 23rd to the 24th, was also a tiny little gap. It was a retest gap. So I was waiting a little bit for it to kind of roll up and then trade it down lower. So, yeah, I was still bearish, and I kind of had a bearish outlook on UPS for about 3 or 4 days after that gap. It's usually about how long those really, really strong gaps last. So I just kept a bearish perspective on it for a little bit and did well.
Okay, well, let's move on to the big mover today, Walmart. And there's a gal, who knows it was, just bidding the daylights out of this in the pre-market on some different volume here. And Dennis was marveling at it, didn't quite hit him. I don't know if you were watching the pre-market trading or you were active in the pre-market. Walmart's already had a $4 range. That's about a monthly range for the issue here. Are you gonna step in with the big boys on Walmart here and continue to fade this thing?
It's interesting that you ask. Walmart, to me, isn't the most bearish gap I've ever seen in my life. 84.75 it's opening at. That is pretty bearish, and the fact that it's taken out, Joel, that February 17th candle, those February 17th and February 18th, so yesterday and the day before, pretty nice little bullish candles. And if we're opening below, I think it likely could trade down a little bit lower. I am slightly bearish on Walmart, but if you're able to pull up the 100 simple moving average, I think Walmart's a long. Just wait for a little bit of a pullback, actually. So yeah, I might actively participate in some of the shorting, but overall, the primary trend, just a phenomenal bullish trend after we had that giant 2-year distribution phase between 72 and 80. So you had that long channel. We broke out, back in October. We rested, and so if we pull back to that level, that 82 price range, I don't know. I think it's viable at that location, actually, kind of on the longer term, daily, weekly type of chart.
How do you go from being like an active day trader to putting a different hat on and looking at the 100-day simple moving average? I mean, that's a pretty unique talent there. How do you do that? How do you keep it? Do you have different accounts, different time frames? How do you do it?
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I have different accounts and different perspectives. I mean, I love day trading. I personally think day trading and long term investing and adding to your overall positions is probably one of the best ways to consistently grow your account in the stock market. Swing trading is good, it works. But day trading, month to month, if you got to pay bills, if you got to be a real life trader, day trading is the way to go. But long term trading, man, I mean, it's I guess it's just practice. Dow theory. I'm a big Dow theory proponent. Charles Dow, when he came up with the 6 tenets: accumulation, distribution, public participation, all that jazz. I mean, I'm a big player into that. 'Cause it works. It's just all human sentiment. Whatever time frame we're looking at, it's really interesting to me. That emotion. It's all emotion is controlling everything. I think that's just so cool.
So you're going with the strong trend in Priceline here, up $95. Big rally going into that. It's green on the screen. I mean, how could you not want to try and short this thing? But I know you're a trend player here. Give us your outlook for Priceline today, and you could be honest. I mean, if you don't trade a $1,200 stock that trades with a $2 spread, I can understand. I can understand that as well.
You crack me up, man. Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned Priceline. Priceline is one that I just like you, Joel, man. I scratch my head at this thing. I'm like, I was telling a guy who's new to the market. I was eating with him at Panera the other day, and he was, looking at my computer and asking me some questions about what the heck I was doing. And we started talking about Priceline at some point. We were both laughing because I told him it was a $1,200 stock. And he was like, seriously? I'm like, yeah, the internet company, I think it's William Shatner's fault. I think he made this company $1,200 by himself. It's just
do you know that he dumped his stock? That he got a bunch of stock. I don't know what the official story is, but he got paid in stock, and I don't know what it was, but he immediately dumped the thing. I think it was, I think so.
I had never heard that.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I don't know. Google it. Maybe I'm making it up, but I think I heard that he sold.
You research that.
Yeah, let Brianna research that. Do you have a sweet spot for prices of stocks that you like to trade? I mean, obviously, your Walmart, your thicker ones. You got some people that like a stock like AMD. I mean, is that just too low of a price of a stock for you to trade? You wait for some news to trade it, or do you have a sweet spot and this is for your day trading?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to love anything over $1,000. But I like it from $5 to $200 is usually my baby range. If it's less than $5, I rarely look at it. I do every now and then. But to go back and answer your question on Priceline, we've been more bullish than bearish on it since about 1054. And any one of my traders and any one of my students trade Priceline. We mostly do it with options because it's just so expensive. At the $1,200 range, though, I'm fully on board with you, man. I do like the little short. I'd like to think it's going to gap up. And since we've had so much buying, I mean, keep in mind that it was $1,000 just a few days ago.
Yeah.
So if it's at $1,200 now, I definitely think there's going to be a little bit of selling. Not tons, but some. And I think that selling will give us a little bit of a buying opportunity, actually, because people are going to want to take a piece of this rally. I just don't know who buys Priceline, but, I guess it's funds or mutual funds or hedge funds. But, man, it always blows my mind just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, here it is. Let's just take a quick look where it's trading. Give you some pre-market levels here. Pre-market high there, 1225.99. That was the high. Hit 1220 here in the session, opening up 1220. Clicking here down to 1210.18. I don't know. That's just, I tell you, if I had the weekly calls in this thing, I couldn't have been selling them fast enough off the open. I mean,
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. Totally.
So we're into the first minute of trading here. Do you let the dust settle here over the first minute or two, or you're putting out some opening order onlys like Dennis trying to catch some price discrepancies? What's your cup of tea here in the first minute of trading?
That's a really good question, man. I'm not going to pull anything while we're on the phone, but with the first 2 minutes, I look for if there's a perfect gap, just one that just sings to me, Elton John style. I'll go and find it, and I'll trade it in the first 2 minutes. If it's, I'll get in the first 2 minutes if it's just a beautiful, beautiful gap. A lot of people are trapped; they're losing money after hours. I'll play it in the first 2 minutes. Otherwise, I mean, 90% of the time, I'm fully on board with you, my friend. I wait 30 minutes. I'll let the dust settle. I'll let the Cowboys shoot each other, and I'll let the Indians do their thing. And then I come in and sweep up the rest later. After everything kind of settles down. So like I said, price line, I would anticipate a little bit more selling. And then I'll kind of look for a bounce probably around I mean, it could also drop 10, 15 points, no problem.
Yeah, I don't think I could buy this with your money. Go ahead, Brianna.
I gotta break in with this William Shatner Priceline story. So
See, I don't make everything up on the show.
no, you are actually right about this. So back in 2013, CNBC reported that Priceline CEO Jeffrey Boyd said it was an urban legend that William Shatner had made as much as $600 million from receiving stock in the company. William Shatner was paid in equity in the early days of the business, but unfortunately he sold the stock at a relatively low price. So that was back in 2013 when this report came out.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. I mean, Joel, this was $100 stock in 2010. It's mind blowing to me. There's a lot of talk right about orbits and kayak, and what's the other I think a lot of the travel agencies are kind of coming together on the internet, acquisitions and mergers and stuff like that. Have you heard anything about that?
Well, yeah, you had the Expedia Orbits deal. That was like on Tuesday, I believe. Was that this week? We cover so much. I believe that was on Tuesday, and that kick-started things. And, the other thing, too, another one of our frequent guests, Nick Shaheen, he looked at this, the strong dollar helping, people wanting to travel, Europe using their dollars to buy, and also you got the QE Draghi style going on over there. So a couple factors helping. We did briefly dip under 1,200 there, 11.95.38. Not too much heat there if you shorted at 12.19 because you only take 12.20. Let's just take a look. A couple other issues in your range here. Apple. All-time highs, Spoo's down 6. They don't care. Down 16 cents. Give us your outlook on Apple.
Apple, last time on the show was kind of a comeback. I was really bullish over earnings. It gapped up over earnings, and pretty much ever since earnings, I've been getting into some Apple. And I just closed, true story, 2 days ago. We traded to my target on Apple. And I closed most of my positions just to lock in profits at that point because it's very, very high. I think it needs a little bit of a rest. But I'm bullish Apple. It's not done by any means. People are like, oh, my gosh, it's so high. It's Apple. Apple's going to do what it's going to do. They have more cash than, I don't even know how to spell how much cash they have.
Right.
And they're ready. I mean, they're not going anywhere. So I'm continually going to play Apple along. I'm just waiting. I agree with people who came on before me. Give this one like 3 or 4 days, and any bounce off of those exponential moving averages, I like it until about 135.
Would you go short this on any? Is there a setup that you would make you look at a short? Like, I bet you I can talk you into a short right now. Triple top here, 28.75 to 28.88 there. I mean, looking at risking it 28.50. Let it go over 129. Or do you not put that much faith in triple tops in Apple?
I don't know. Not at least on the. I mean, gosh, Apple's tough, man, to play bearish right now. It's just really, really difficult. I'm actually in a weekly bull put spread on Apple, so I'm hoping it's not triple top, but I'm in a 125, 124 expiring tomorrow afternoon. I got into that yesterday and on Weekly's Wednesday on the trading floor that I host. And I think, on the hourly time frame, Joel, Apple looks really healthy, looks really strong, and as long as it stays above 126, I'm ready to long it pretty much at any time.
Oh, did we lose Jeremy there?
Ooh, let me double check. I mean, it says we still got him.
He probably just saw a trade and he just oh, I gotta go, and just hopped right into it.
There we go.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
No problem, man. No problem.
We got you back. So we got a few minutes left here with Jerremy Newsome on RealLifeTrading.com. Any advice for let's say someone just retired and they're set, they got their money put away and they want to start trading with $10,000. What words of advice would you have for them? And they're totally prepared to lose a $10,000. What would be your words of advice besides signing up for RealLifeTrading.com?
That was going to be advice number one, Joel. So I guess no, I'm just kidding. Realistically, with $10,000, you can do a lot with $10,000. The number one plan that I tell any beginning trader, even if they're fully prepared to lose it and they're, hey, I want to take this investment. Truly though, you do have to educate yourself in some form or fashion. But number one rule of investing: do not lose that money. Even though you want to lose it and you're ready to lose it, you're prepared to lose it, do not lose it. Approach this $10,000 like it's your last dollar on earth, and learn how to protect it. Because if you always go into the market with that mindset, you're going to be okay. Always protect your investment, because if you don't have money, you're not going to have money to trade. And then learn options. With $10,000, you've got to learn options to make any money with that. You're not going to make money, trading stock unless you're doing proprietary trading, which is what I do when I day trade. So, I'm all about trading. $10,000 is a great amount of capital to start with, actually, in my opinion. And so I would kind of just say, learn risk management and come up and learn how to create a trading plan and follow it. And if you do that, you can become consistent. If you become consistent in the market, you become disciplined. And when you become disciplined, you become profitable.
Best way to learn about options.
Best way to learn about options. This is where I would simply say get into some type of trading room where someone can teach you live, even if it's just for a week or for a few days. And so I will just simply say, if any of your listeners want, since you guys have been such generous hosts, the next today and tomorrow, if anyone wants to email me at support@reallifetrading.com, I'm going to give them a free access to my trading floor today and tomorrow at support@reallifetrading. But truly, Joe, I mean it when I say that if someone gets into a trading room and they see a professional do it, they can ask questions, no hold bar, like, hey, why would you get into this option? What are you doing with this option? What are your thoughts on this particular trade? Professionals oftentimes will devote themselves to helping their students or helping people answer questions like that. I would find, like I did, free access to trading rooms and just ask as many questions as possible to as many people as possible. Find the people that you like. Like I like you and Brianna, find people that you like and you've interacted with a few times, and then you'll learn a lot from them. And that's just kind of my opinion.
Brianna's a lot nicer than me, but
she is nice.
You guys are too nice.
All right, just before we let you go here, just real quick here. You think you're going to see that 82 in Walmart today? We're down 218, just hit 83.53, letting the dust settle in that. Boy, I take a brave long here. What do you think?
My final thoughts on the market. I'm going to buy Walmart. I think if Walmart pulls back a little bit more, it's viable in my opinion. It's short for the short term, maybe a few days to a few hours. And my overall market sentiment is, I expect a pause here. I would like a little bit of a rest, but I am bullish, and I don't think there's any reason not to be. Pretty much until May. I don't know if I'm subscribing to the sell May and go away thing yet, but a little bit of a pause, a rest for a pause, pause for some type of just a resting period on the general market, but have that bullish perspective of buy the dips, and you're still going to be okay up until probably really truly about May. I think the next 3 months I'm going to have a pretty bullish outlook, Joel.
Okay, we're on the line with Jerremy Newsome. He's CEO of RealLifeTrading.com, joining us here on Benzinga's Pre-Market Prep. Jerremy, it was great. Covered a lot of issues there, a lot of your strategies. We appreciate it, and make sure we have you on again soon.
Thanks so much, Jerremy.
Yeah, you guys rock. Thanks so much, guys. Have an awesome day.
Okay, right. Thank you. S&P futures testing the pre-market low. 87 and a quarter was the pre-market low. We've dipped to 87.50 here, trying to rebound. Tough area. 86 and a quarter was Tuesday's interday low. So market trying to rebound here early in the session. Let's take a look. We got movers everywhere here. Walmart open.
Yeah, I was going to ask about Walmart.
Yeah,
for sure.
Holy mackerel here. Let's and do you remember what's my bet with Dennis today? Do you remember? just trying to, boy.
Did you bet on Potbelly again?
No,
No?
I've taken my heat. Well, Brent, you remember what we bet on? You have to think about it.
Joel, it's your bet.
I know. I'm losing my mind.
All right.
84.50 open, popped only 30 cents, down to 83.53. Really don't have a great reference point with that level. You do have a cluster of lows here. I'm looking at going back a little bit lower than this. You had three lows between 82.94 and 83.05. That was back in mid-December. I don't know. I think we might be done on the downside today, but if you do get to 83, there's a level of support there. Dennis is popping in with the Marriott. Oh boy, at least I got a chance on this one. It's trading at 84 even, up to 55, went to 84.77, 82.43. Looks like I think Dennis felt sorry for me, and he kind of gave me a layup. What else do we need to cover here? We got one more minute before
Let's check out EOG, our loser of the day.
Our loser, and that was something that Ian Weiner said, you know what, this might come back a little bit today, and really got beat up in the pre-market. Let's look at the trading in the issue. In pre-market trading, we got all the way down to 87.59 here. Took that out, though. Got a little bit lower. Got down to 86.56. Actually, the pre-market low was at 86.16. So if you were quick off the open here and you just said, whew, I'm buying this thing off the open, you got a quick 3 sticks in it here as we're trading straight up from that. Long gap to fill here. Maybe 90, a little psychological number, could be some resistance. Well, it is 9:43 now, and as we always do at this time, we go to Brianna to preview Friday's show.
I like that dramatic pause there, Joel.
I wasn't sure what day it was.
Oh, well, yes, it's Thursday, so tomorrow's going to be Friday. We're going to have another great show to finish off the week. We will have Jonathan Corpina, the Senior Managing Partner at Meridian Equity Partners. He will be live with us from the NYSE trading floor. We'll also have Michelle Schneider returning to the show. She's the Director of Trading Education and Research for Market Gauge. And then finally, one of our favorite hedge fund managers, Reverend Emmanuel Lemelson, will be returning to the show. He's made some fantastic calls on WWE, Apple. We'll have to go over all of that and see what he's looking for in the future. Just a final reminder, our show is brought to you by our friends at Nadex, where you can find protection from market spikes and opportunities in flat markets using binary options. Open an account today with no fees and only $100 as your minimum deposit. Tell them your friends at Benzinga sent you. If you miss any part of today's show, you can listen to the whole thing again on our podcast. Find us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher by searching #premarket. And don't forget to tune into our next special segment, all about crude oil, Friday, February 27th, where you can discover the most profitable investments in the energy sector right now for free with experts like Dennis Gartman, Doug Cass, and many more. We'll be sending out tons of emails and dropping links in the chat room for you to learn more about that. And please finally always remember that all of the information, material, and content in our program is for informational purposes only. Investing in stocks, options, and futures is risky and not suitable for all investors. Please consult your own independent financial advisor before making any investment decisions. Well, great show today. Wild market this morning. Had lots to talk about. Any final words for our traders and investors, Joel?
Okay, just real quick, Ace is looking at Box here at the $18 area, dipped down to $17.96 yesterday, $18.05 today, so 18 even. That's where the Ace Man likes Box here, coming off its IPO. We got a little bit of data here to start analyzing that stock. So we're going to end the show with the S&P's bouncing off the pre-market low, only down 450 at 2,091. The all-time high, closing high, 96 even, 95.50, a double close from Wednesday. Potential area of resistance as well as the triple top up between 2,098.50 and 99.5. Thanks for joining us on the show today. Have a great trading day. We'll be back with you tomorrow.